Data Masters. Unleash the full potential of your company with no-stress expert analytics strategies. Welcome to the next episode of Data Masters. Today we're going to talk about why IT and data-related projects fail
and why it is very probable that you are going to fail with your next data initiative as well.
Yeah, so Wojtek, to set the context, you have a lot of experience in delivering IT projects. Do they really fail?
Yeah, so I think data projects and software projects are very related to each other, but data projects are sometimes even harder.
Mm-hmm.
We have some statistics on how software-related projects fail, and we have some statistics from the Standish Group International, and they say that only 16% of software projects ends on time and within planned budget, only 16%.
Mm-hmm.
Then another statistic is that for large enterprises, it's even only 9%. 31% of projects are stopped before they're finished, and 33% goes beyond the timeline and cost. And they cost even 189% of the first budget.
That's a lot.
And you deliver only half of the functionalities. And you can see that in your everyday life of a developer or a project manager. All the projects are prolonged. The scope is changing rapidly. This is kind of why everybody was focused on Agile, right? We have this waterfall standard first that says that we need to have all the analysis because we need to know everything. But then it turns out that it doesn't bring value anymore because the business changes. So we came up with Agile. But then as we deliver those functionalities, the scope changes as well. And basically, it's all the same. And when we have it, when we have the final solution, sometimes say, okay, no, we don't want to do it anymore.
Too late. It's time passed.
I had an example of that. We were working on one project for 2 years, and we were working with one business unit, and they said that this product is great. They want to use it. But part of it was being used by the other business unit, and they weren't talking to each other. And we were just delivering the project. We weren't thinking about the whole business context. And this other business unit said, no, we don't want it. They stayed with the original solution that they had, which was Excel based. So this is in the software development. How does it look like in data related projects?
So in data, you mentioned that basically IT software development projects are related to data related projects, but there is a small caveat, right? Even in your statistics, you mentioned that the projects take way more time than expected, way more time than planned at the beginning, not talking about the budget, right? And the difference between that and data-related projects is that sometimes in data-related projects, you don't even finish. You finish with nothing, right? And because there is a lot of, especially in machine learning area, there is a lot of, there is this R&D part of the work, which if not scoped properly, really can be just a huge waste of time. So that's I think the main difference, that you don't just prolong, you don't just spend more, you basically spend money and end up with nothing, right? So
that's why you have all of those POCs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You need to check whether you have the right data, whether you have everything that you need, but sometimes you don't even check it against your business.
Exactly.
goals, right?
That's the point. You plan it in a wrong way. So the whole idea of POC, it's sometimes just doesn't really make sense, because even if you success with the POC, it turns out that there's a huge miss in infrastructure, right? That if you count it into the budget, then the ROI is negative of that project, and in basically it's a failure, right?
We've done some research on it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen Gartner, we've seen McKinsey. They've done a lot of research about it. How does it look like?
I have it here. So in terms of successful automation scaling, just an automation, not even talking about some hardcore, data science deployments. Only 15% of these projects are scaled successfully. Another example regarding the machine learning proof of concepts, only 36% of them go beyond the pilot stage. Now, some numbers from Gartner, only 50% of the projects make it from AI prototypes to production. And the one that I like the most, also from Gartner, 85% of AI and ML related projects fail to produce a ROI on the business, right? So
That's huge.
The key message here is that basically there's over at least 50% chance that you will fail with your data related projects.
And it is time consuming, right? It takes a lot of budget. You need a lot of people involved.
Yeah.
Right? You need to hold this infrastructure. You need to pay for your servers. You need to pay for all of those different roles, which we're going to cover in some other episodes. But you need to have all of those people that are focused on different areas, right? There are skill sets that only some people have, and you need to have like diverse team there. So there's a lot of hiring there. You hire, it turns out that nothing works as you expect. And
okay, so I recall one of our clients. We started the engagement. We entered the organization. We started to basically look for potential machine learning use cases there, and it turned out that they had their data scientists hired already. And what the problem was is that basically there was nothing else but this data scientist. There was no infrastructure, no links between data, no automated data pipelines. So that's basically an example of wrong approach to this project.
Yeah,
right?
that's a common thing, right?
Yeah.
When we talk to different clients, and right now we are building the full architecture there, but they are already spending money on the data scientists, and it's been already.
He's waiting basically for our work, right?
Okay, so let's talk about what are the issues there.
So maybe let's go point by point, and let's start with IT projects in a general way. What are the most common reasons of why software development projects fail? You have experience there.
I think there are many, and there are a lot of areas in terms of how we manage the projects. There are reasons like that the requirements are not talked through, that the scope is constantly changing, that we lack skills in a certain technology, or we don't talk to the clients as much as we should. We are not focused on the business impact. We are focused on the solution. And sometimes we're thinking in terms of solutions, not in terms of the problems that we solve and what it brings to our business, right?
So I think it's this very similar case in data-related projects. But on top of that, we have even more. And for this particular case, we also have done some research. So I will basically list you at the top 10 leading causes of big data and ML projects failures, and then you listen carefully and you tell me what's wrong with them, right?
Sure.
So let's start. Number 1, wrong skills. Number 2, incorrect business objectives. Number 3, insufficient ROI. Number 4, technology complexity. Number 5, data integration. Number 6, data management. Number 7, management and cultural resistance. Number 8, improper scope. Number 9, inadequate management and governance. And number 10, enterprise and strategy match. So we have top 10.
Yeah, and so basically we can see, and this is kind of our message, right? That there's like an issue with soft skills.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are some problems with the technology and the infrastructure, but what are the main reasons?
So top three are not related to the technological aspect.
How you manage the project, how you scope the project, how you think about the business impact, right? And I guess this is our also an idea for it on how to approach it and how to help different companies not to fail with their data initiative. I mean, I'm sure there's always a risk, but we need to minimize it as much as we can.
So having that in mind, I listed 10 of them, right? 7 of them are not related completely to technical issues. So what's the key message here? What's the key point?
Well, I think we need to take a look at this holistically, right? You need the data team and you need the diverse data team. It's costly. So sometimes it's better to ask someone to help you with that, or at least tell you how to hire, who you need to hire, or first just ask someone to build the first solution for you before you set up the whole data team, because it's expensive, right? You need to have like the foundations. You need to know where is your data. You need to have the data governance in place. You need to think about data quality. You need to think about what are the use cases that you have, right? And then pick the ones that you think would have the most impact on your company. But what is also important, you need to change your mindset. You are not doing an IT solution here. You are transforming your organization into being data-driven. And I think this is core. You need to understand what data is about, what are the problems there, and how to minimize the risk. And sometimes you would have to, obviously, sometimes you would have to say, okay, stop. We've invested already a lot. We see that it's going nowhere. We need to stop it. And it's going to be a case sometimes.
Oh, obviously, right? It's that R&D aspect of this project, which I mentioned at the beginning. My also takeaway is that you need to basically focus on ROI. And even when you plan the project, don't start from planning POC. Start with change your focus to really treat the business aspects and calculating diligently this ROI like the most important thing in the project, not the complexity, not the fancy neural network model that you're gonna use. ROI.
Exactly. And you also don't have to focus always on those super fancy solutions, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes it's advanced analytics that's going to answer all of your questions, and sometimes that's enough. You don't need everything to start. So what is our answer to that? I guess we are going to talk more about it in our next episode, right?
Yeah, in the next episode, we will basically talk you through our idea for how to handle data-related projects to address the problems we discussed, right? So stay tuned.